Hello, everybody. My name is Quenisha Coleman. I am the unit director here at Shawnee Boys and Girls Club. And today we will be going over a positive action lesson. Positive action is basically a program that focuses on being able to make healthy decisions. Good decisions is built around leadership as well as positive thinking because positive thoughts lead to a positive action. So, we're going to go over positive action today, lesson 53, and it is based around life decisions and your money, right? So that's the title of it, life decisions and your money. The objective or the goal for this is to apply the knowledge that the emotional side of money may affect our decisions, okay? Also, to apply a financial reality check to a decision about dropping out of school. So this is going to apply to the social and emotional positive action of managing money. So we're going to look, we're going to learn how to basically look over and see exactly where all our money is going in those specific areas, and see how much they cost, and then look at a wage that someone makes and compare that to see if they are living beyond their means. Do they make enough a month to pay everything? And if not, we will reevaluate and make changes as needed. Okay, so I am here to tell you that you will need a pencil and a piece of paper. You may want to grab a calculator as well. If you do not have a calculator, please do so. If you have like a tablet or a phone that has a calculator on it, that would be great. And if not, you may have to do it by hand, but this is all about learning. So just follow along with me and we can work through it as best as we can. Okay, so a pencil, paper, a pen, and a calculator. Okay, so I'm going to give you a scenario about someone who is currently working right now, and we are going to go over all the bills that they have as well as how much they make and things like that, and we're going to take it from there. Okay, so Colin got a job and dropped out of school. He was fed up with school and wanted to work instead. He thought he was ready to make it on his own. His job pays a little more than minimum wage, which is about $8 an hour, so he figured he could get a loan. But he is coming up short every month. These are his monthly wages and major expenses, which we'll go over here shortly, after taxes. I want you to break it down. If you do have somebody with you that's there with you, that you can break off in a group, that would be great. But if not, I'm going to focus this around just us being individuals and doing it on our own, okay? So your job is to figure out what Colin needs to do to live within his means. His expenses can't be more than what he takes home. So here are some things to consider about his budget. So what expenses can be reduced? Are there important expenses that are missing? So is there something that's listed that needs to be listed as an expense? Let's see, we are going to talk about the things that could happen. So what if his roommate moves out? So this particular individual does have a roommate living with him, so bills are kind of split in half. So what if his roommate moves out and he takes on everything in the house? What about if the price of gasoline triples? What if the electric bill goes up? What if the car breaks down? If he becomes sick or injured? Or if the landlord increases the rent? What what happens then? Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at Colin's bills. Okay? So currently right now, Colin has a living wage of making $8 an hour. So if we was to, he probably brings about $275 home a week. Okay, $275 home a week. And if we times that 275 by 4, because there are 4 weeks in a month, then he receives a total of $1,100 a month. Okay, $1,100 a month. So let's look at some of his expenses. His expenses currently right now is he has rent. So him and his roommate split rent. Rent is a total of $800 because they are living in a house. So they split the rent. So Colin is responsible for paying $400 of that rent. He also has a car payment. that car payment is $90 every 2 weeks. So if we was to add that up for 1 month, it would be $180. So while I'm going through this, I want you to have a piece of paper and pencil and write down all of Colin's expenses with me. So we're going to start with what he makes a week. So you could put income, okay, and then put 275 weekly, which equals 1,100, okay, for the month. So that's the income. And you're going to label right up under that. You're going to put expenses, okay. You're going to put expenses, and you are going to write rent. Rent is $400 a month. And then we're going to move to car payment, which is a total for a month. It's $90. It's $90 every 2 weeks, but we're going to put the total of that, which would be $180. Okay, $180 every month. Next, we're going to go for food, which he spends usually about $60 a week on food, but if you total that in a month, 60 times 4 is $240. Colin is spending $240 on groceries a month, okay? And that's for himself. Cell phone bill, $40 a month. So that's just a solid $40. And then we're going to look at gas. Gas is, he's spending on average about $30 a week on gas. And that comes up to $120. All right? Now, when we go down to entertainment, so entertainment is basically, we would like to look at entertainment as something that he can use to go out and have fun with his friends, to order movies, to order pizza, things that are extra, things that money he can use to spend on himself if he wants to have fun. So we're going to say that he's spending $45 a week. $45 a week on entertainment. And that comes up to a monthly total of $180. Okay, all I'm doing is, if it's a week, I'm timesing it by 4. If it's every 2 weeks, I'm timesing it by 2. Okay? Now, household supplies. Household supplies, Colin is spending about $60 a month in household supplies. Okay? So, since we've added all these things together, $400 in rent, $180 for car payment, $240 for food, $40 for a cell phone, $120 for gas, $180 for entertainment, and $60 for household supplies. So, now, what I want you to do now is I want you to add all those things up. I want you to grab your calculator, your tablet, your cell phone, whatever you have that has a calculator, and add all those things up. All right? And let me know, without looking, what your total expense was. You can pause the video at any point, but I am going to go ahead and move on. If you need time, just pause the video. And so the total expenses for Colin is $910 altogether of expenses. Okay? Well, I'm sorry, I take that back. Let me take that back. I'm so sorry. That answer is so wrong. We're going to erase all of this up here. Well, we're going to keep the income because the income is right. The income is what he makes a month, and that's $1,100. Okay? Now, his expense total currently right now that we added up all together, you should have got $1,120 $1,120 right here at the bottom. It's relatively small, but it's $1,220. $1,220, okay? So, what does that tell us about Colin's spending? Okay, if we look at the income, $1,100, and then the expenses of $1,220, what is that telling us? It's telling us that, as Colin has explained to us, that he is putting out more than what he gets, right? He's tending to overspend, he's running out of money, and things like that. So that means that he has to cut back at times on certain things to try to make sure that he is not completely broke. which that is seeming to be the case because he always falls short. Now, if we want to know how much that Colin is overspending, we want to take what he makes and then subtract that by how many expenses he has. So if you look down here, we took the 1,100 and subtract that by the expenses of $1,220. Now, once we do that, okay, we have a negative $120. So that means that Colin has to fix his spending, figure out what he needs, what he doesn't, what he can spend less on, what he needs to spend more on. Because currently, right now, he is in the hole $120, right? So he is short $120 to make sure that he is able to pay all his bills off. Okay? So, just a little something new. We're going to change some things up. What do you think that Colin at this time needs to cut back on? Do you think he's spending too much? After you look at your list that you wrote down, do you think he's spending too much money in one category? Okay? Pause the video, look over it, and you correct anything that you feel like could help Colin. But I'm going to go ahead and go through what I would change to help him out, okay? So, because what we want to be cautious of is if he's already negative $120, then, you know, where will money come from if, like we said, list some things that he may need extra money for? What if the landlord goes up on the rent? What if Colin and his friend get into an argument and Colin's friend leaves out, so he's left to pay all the bills? You know, he needs to think about those things because life is unexpected and things happen. Okay, so what I'm going to change is I think that I would change Colin spending $30 on gas a week to 25. $5 does make a difference. Okay, and if we was to go buy that gas $25 a week, that would be $100. Okay, so we're gonna take off that 120 and put 100. All right, and then also I would change entertainment. So he's spending $45 of entertainment a week. I think I would take that to 35, just to save on money. Okay. Also, with household supply, if we times the 35 times 4, you would get 140 instead of 180. So we're going to cut that off. Okay. All right. Now, household supplies. He is spending $60 a month in household supplies. So I'm going to bump that down to only $50 for household supplies. Okay. So as you are changing your thing, just make sure to change it all the way through. Now, let's see. Food. He is spending $60 a week on food, and we are going to change that to $50 a week in food. So that brings it to 50 times 4 is 100. No, actually 50 times 4 is 200. Okay. All right. Is there anything else you think that we should change? Okay. We are going to stick with it. Now let's see see if anything changes. Okay. 0, we're gonna add it, add our new stuff. So 8 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 for me is 21. And then 2 plus 2 is 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's $710. Plus, we forgot the rent up here. So let's see if we added more expenses than taking it away. So that's $1,110. We are close, but not quite. Okay, we are still over $10. So, what else do you think that we could change? We at least want to have Colin to have at least $50 extra from a check a month. So if we were to cut anything, and here are some great scenarios. Maybe we could, maybe he could have a talk with the car person, where he bought his car, things like that. If he does have a car, but since he has a car payment, maybe he can try to figure out if he can make his car payments lower. Okay, and you can do that. All right, even though right now it's kind of fixed, which means that you can't change it. If they were to go back and try to see if he qualifies for a reduced payment, maybe they can do that. So maybe let's look at the car payment. Let's see, instead of paying $90 every 2 weeks, how about he only has $50 to pay every 2 weeks? Okay, so 50 every 2 weeks is $100 because it's 50 times 2. So maybe that can save him a whole lot of money. Okay. Now, 50 times 2 equals 100, so that's $100 right here. Okay, let's put the 400 over here so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so let's see how much this will cost. Okay, let's redo this. All right, so now that we look back, we have 400, 100, so we have all zeros right here. And then we have 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 5, 13. Then we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have $1,030. So let's see how much Colin is having extra now a month. So 1,100 take away 1,030. Okay, 0. 9, 7. Okay, so he has $970 worth. Oh, I'm sorry, not even left. Is that right? Yes. So his total expenses is $1,030, and we take that with his income. knew that was wrong. He's left with $70. $70 left, okay? Which is excellent. So now he can take that extra money and put it in his bank so he can start saving and putting it in an emergency fund, which is awesome. Awesome. All right. So $70 is a magical number. I hope you all were able to follow along and see what I did. So, after we've completed all that, if he was to continue going the route that he was going, what do you think Colin's self-concept would look like? How do you think he would feel about himself after, he's been going through this and having shortage of money for, let's say, 5 years? How do you think he would feel? Would he be stressed? Would he want to give up? Things like that. Because it looks like there's not much for extras. From the first case that we had, he couldn't get his car repaired. He couldn't pay dental or medical bills, or even take money to go on a vacation. So, for future reference, what do you think that Collins can do to increase his income now or in the future? Do you think that he needs to go back to school? Do you think that he made a good decision by dropping out of school and going straight to work and not even being able to afford the things that he needed and wanted? Okay? Do you think that he might have let his emotions override his thinking? Because sometimes when we're so tired of something, like he was tired of school, the way that he's thinking can possibly have him make bad decisions. And dropping out of school was a bad decision for him at the time. What emotions might he have felt at the time? Like we said, he might have been stressed or just upset, right? So, what do you think delayed gratification is? Let's talk about that. What is delayed gratification? Can anybody tell me that? Or write it down? Okay, so delayed gratification. Okay. So what is delayed gratification? Delayed gratification is making a decision that you will wait to take a full action on a thought or an idea so that you might further develop the idea so you can get things in order to set yourself up for success. So when we are trying to make a big decision like quitting school, getting a new job, buying a car, buying a house, moving out of our parents' home, we want to do delayed gratification. We want to make sure, we want to give full thought of what we're going to do to make sure that we don't forget steps that we need to take in order to be successful in the next move that we make. So in Colin's situation, what might delayed gratification have looked like for him? If he did do delayed gratification, what do you think he could have did? What's some things that he could have did to do delayed gratification? Okay, maybe he could have. You can pause the video if you want to think about some things, but he could have wrote out his goals. Okay, wrote out goals, and if he was so tired of school, he could have talked to a parent, or he could have sought help. He could have maybe tried to find a cheaper place to stay because $800 a month is very expensive for a young person. Okay? So maybe that's something that it could have looked like. Staying in school and building up a cushion of savings when something unexpected happens, is important. It's very important. Also, dealing with whatever his problems could have been right then and there, probably was not the best thing. Like I said, he could have thought about some things before he actually took on the action of going out and making a big decision like that about moving out on his own. Okay? One great action you can learn right now about money and about life is how to delay your gratification. So, what you need to do is learn to ask yourself, do I really need it? Is it something that I really need? Is it something I need to survive? Is it a need or is it a want? What prices might I pay in the quest to get it? What is it going to cost me, to get to that point? Is it going to cost me my time? Is it going to cost me my money? Is it going to cost me, my emotional stability? What is it going to cost me? Because you don't have to pay. Sometimes people don't pay everything in money. Sometimes they pay it in their time, and they pay it in their emotional statuses and their psychological statuses and things like that, okay? So is the long-term price worth the short-term gratification? So like this home, this apartment, or this house, he may be in a year rental contract to where, hey, he can't break the lease. He can't leave before a year. So he's going to have to struggle. He's going to have to struggle for that year until he can get out of that home. So what does it look like? It's a long-term price for short-term gratification. Okay? How is saving money a form of delayed gratification? How is staying in school when you might desire to be out on your own a form of delayed gratification? What do you all think? What is staying in school when you might desire to be out on your own a form of delayed gratification? And you can pause the video and think about that. Okay? Money, right? How we use it and what we purchase it for is an excellent barometer of social and emotional health. Are we able to delay gratification and put our long-term security and safety ahead of some immediate needs or wants that we perceive ourselves to have? Okay? Are we able to keep the big picture, future earning power, for example, balanced with our immediate need to be autonomous as possible? It's your life. How will you handle your resource of money in creating the best one you can? So how will you be able to manage your money in the best way you can to make sure that you have a successful life? You want to think about these things before you make big decisions. Or make a decision about anything. How much is it going to cost me? Is it a need or is it a want? Is it something that's going to help me in the future? Okay? So when we make decisions like that, we really need to be cautious. So I hope you learned a lot in this video. I really appreciate your time. I commend you and I appreciate you for being able to invest in your future. Okay? Thank you for paying attention. I hope you learned something. You can play, rewind, stop this video at any point if you want to go back through it with a friend. So I hope to see you again. Until next time. Bye-bye.